Hello everybody out in the YouTube universe, I'm Rob Goodwin and this is Ketogenic Bodybuilding, and welcome to yet another rant video. This is where I get the opportunity to pretty much unscripted walk into my office at any given moment when I have a break, turn on the camera, flip on the microphone and start rambling on about something that may have just recently irritated me or given me some level of concern or given me some sort of an awareness that I need to relay to you, some simple truth, logic, and honesty. And it could be something that just pissed me off. And I want to make you aware of it and get it off my chest, because people tell me if I let this stuff build that it's just going to, I'm just going to explode, and we certainly wouldn't want that. Especially my clients on leg day wouldn't want that. So I try to make sure that I release the pressure valve, and this is a great way that I can do that. So another rant video. Before we start, you know what to do. Hit the subscribe button. So, and I honestly am a little worked up. It's January. We are waist deep in New Year's resolution time. God bless you if you're training hard and you really are making a change. I commend you and applaud you. I think it's freaking awesome. And if you're in the gym and it's a bit more crowded than you like and that you're used to, but if you see the new guy or the new girl busting their butts and giving what they got, show them some love. Help them out. Maybe give them a little insight to what's worked for you and help them out a little bit, support them, give them a pat on the back or a high five, or give them a little wink and let them know, hey, I'm here for you, good job, glad you're here. Let's support each other in this community instead of tearing each other down. But I digress. Back to the rant. It is January. I talk about ketogenic diets, and every damn thing on the planet is marketed keto right now. And that's just ridiculous, because keto is not a product. Keto is short for ketosis, or being in a state of ketosis, or being in a metabolic state of ketosis. That's what it is. It's not a label, okay? It's not something you eat, drink, or pop a pill. It's not a workout plan. Keto is a metabolic environment in the body that happens if you are living in a carb-restricted state. I've said it 1,000 times or more. Keto has nothing to do with high fat. It has to do with low carb. Now, fat comes into the picture because as we remove carbohydrate from the diet, we replace those carbohydrate calories with healthy fat calories. And it doesn't even take as much fat calories as it did the carbohydrates, because fat has 9 calories per gram. So a little goes a long way. So you don't even need to take in as much by volume as you did the carbohydrate to make up those calories that you're missing from carbohydrate. And as we know, fat is not going to produce an insulin surge. You're not going to get the inflammatory side effects that go with it. And, being in that healthful state of mild to moderate ketosis that most of us are in or achieve is very nourishing for the brain. It gives you that mental acuity. Everything seems to work better. Hell, that's why I'm freaking doing it. That's why I've been doing it for over a decade, and I've experimented with it, and I've turned the knobs on it, and I've flipped the switches around, and I've done my due diligence and research to find the best way that it suits me and my style of training and my lifestyle. I own nothing with the word keto on it. Not one product, not a single one. I don't care. That's not what I look for. I don't go down those aisles in the supermarket with the bars and the boxes and the potions and the programs and look for the ones marked keto because I'm the keto guy. Because that is a scam. If somebody says to you, I've got a keto protein shake that you need to try, it's just for you darn ketoers out there. And if you want to be a ketoer, then you need to have my keto protein shake. I'll use my favorite retort. That is exquisite bullshit, okay? This is my favorite protein powder. Dimetize, ISO 100. I like it because it is cold filtered. And it is a pure isolate way It's manufactured in the best possible way, so I get the best possible absorption. It is a very high quality protein. Guess what? It only has a gram of carbohydrate, or I think maybe 2 grams of carbohydrate per serving. Guess what? It's keto. If it is low carb, and the bulk of it comes from either protein or fat or a combination of the two, that's keto. Okay? Guess what's keto? A steak. Guess what's keto? Chicken. Guess what's keto? An egg. A whole egg, an egg white, it's all keto. At the end of the day, if I have hit my specified macros that I have calculated that work the most optimally for me, and I have reached but not exceeded my set caloric ceiling that I have set specifically for moi, and throughout the course of that day, I have kept my carbohydrate goal, which mine is 30 grams. If I have kept that goal at 30 or less, guess what my day has been? Keto. It didn't require a keto labeled product. My biggest peeve is exogenous ketones. You will see them marketed as exogenous ketones, BHB. Hell, even Tim Tebow, one of the nicest human beings on the damn planet, who doesn't like Tim Tebow, is pushing a keto product that has to do with some sort of a keto shake. This is a keto shake. And some sort of a BHB exogenous ketone powder shake. Well, here's the thing. Let's throw in some logic, shall we? If the goal, first of all, no. The body produces ketones as a defense mechanism in the absence of carbohydrate. So why drink ketones when you can produce them naturally? Why go to GNC, which I'm going to go on record and say I hate GNC because they're pushy. Why go to GNC and throw 40 cash on the countertop and buy a ketone powder when I can just as easily manufacture those ketones, internally, naturally, just by simply being in a low carbohydrate environment? Now, I will say this, you might be saying, is there any application for consuming exogenous ketones? Is there any time it could be a benefit? In my opinion, for a quick mental boost. In other words, if I'm about to go take a test, which I don't take tests anymore, but if I were, I might down some exogenous ketones, get a little brain boost, a little bit of mental clarity. I would even consider it, even though I haven't, I would maybe even consider it if it were made available to me for free, downing one right before I do a speaking engagement. Ironically on keto, where I tell everybody not to buy keto-related products. Anyway, the irony of that, never mind. Point is, you do not need to drink your ketones. They're being produced naturally in the body within a low carbohydrate environment. And some new research is showing that the consumption of exogenous ketones from the outside, and fat is now showing a derogatory response in the terms of fat burning, the fat burning effect. Some cool new stuff coming out. Just proving further that the body's freaking smart. It knows what the hell it's doing. So let it do its thing. Get into a low carbohydrate state, get the right combination of healthy fats and dietary protein, drink a lot of water, and guess what? The magic happens on its own. You don't need to go anywhere and buy anything with the word keto on it. Right? Got me? Okay, good. Now, there is one exception, because somebody will bring it up, and it's a fair question. Honestly, it is. I'm a big fan of MCT oil. I truly am. MCT oil is a coconut oil or a derivative of coconut oil that has been taken through a process called fractionation. Basically, we've taken coconut oil and taken an element of that coconut oil and produced it and created it to become an odorless, tasteless liquid that is stable at room temperature. The benefit of MCT oil is this: energy. Now, the MCT oil that I consume is pure C8. There are different types of MCT oil. You will see some that are in combination. They'll say a combination of like C8, C9, C12, C10. I take MCT oil for the energy component and to help make up some calories if I'm eating in a manner where it has become difficult to get enough calories in to support my 230-pound frame. Now here's the thing about MCT oil. Long before MCT oil got stolen by the keto world, bodybuilders were using it back in the late 80s and even early 90s. That's when I started using it as an energy source when they were doing a pre-contest diet. When they got to that last 8 to 12 weeks or whatever, that they really cut carbs low and they were really trying to get super ripped and super lean for a competition, they would drink MCT oil. They'd put a tablespoon maybe over their chicken or over their vegetables, or take it right off the spoon, or put it in a protein shake to give them roughly 140 calories of dietary fat per tablespoon. So there's a lot of caloric density there. It's about 14 grams of fat. But the cool thing about C8 MCT is because of its molecular structure, it's only going to be utilized as a fuel source within the mitochondria of the muscle. You're not going to store it on your ass. How cool is that? Now, obviously, if you are chugging MCT oil eating potatoes, you're going to get a detrimental effect. So just understand how it's used. I have been using MCT oil, C8 MCT oil, since 1994-95. A company called Perillo Performance started manufacturing it, and John Perillo, the bodybuilding, powerlifting, coaching legend, created his own MCT oil, pure C8, called Captri, caprylic triglyceride, for his bodybuilders that were in a pre-contest diet to give them an added caloric punch to make sure they met their caloric requirement and to give them a pure energy source that would drive them through tough workouts in a low-carb state. Pretty freaking cool. And that's still the way I use it today. Only recently did the keto companies start putting their keto stamp on MCT oil. It's been collecting dust on a lot of vitamin shop shelves for years because a lot of people just didn't know what the hell it was. But a lot of old school bodybuilders have been using it meticulously for decades because they know the power that it can provide if used properly. So even though the keto manufacturers out there have stolen MCT oil and tried to make it their own, sort of like the keto orthodoxy has stolen intermittent fasting and tried to make it their own, which that's another video. There's nothing wrong with some MCT oil if you're using it as an energy component, all right? So that would be my only exception. And if you're still buying Perillo's brand, and there's a couple other brands out there, you won't see the damn word keto anywhere on it. Now, some of these companies are getting smart. Yeah, I can't blame them, really. So they're starting to put keto on the label because it attracts what? The millions of people who are part of this new keto craze that has exploded since 2015. So I kind of get that one, but understand, I still own nothing. There is nothing in my home. There is nothing in my gym. There's nothing in my office. There's nothing in my break room that has the word keto on it. Because for me, keto is meat, fish, eggs, green leafy plants, healthy omega-3 oils, supplements like whey protein powder, maybe a little bit of almond butter or something like that thrown in here and there. That is what a ketogenic diet is. And you don't have to fall into the hype. So the next time some rep from some multi-level marketing scam company tries to annoy you into not only buying their keto labeled product, but then to get you to become a distributor, man, run away from those people really, really quick. Because A, you're not going to make any money. You're just going to annoy the shit out of people. And B, that garbage is expensive urine and you don't need it. Buy a better quality supplement and use it in your low carb, moderate fat, higher protein protocol. And guess what? You're keto all damn day long and you didn't invest a penny in any of their garbage. Right? Does that make sense? I hope it does. So that's really all that needs to be said here. You don't need to buy anything labeled or marketed keto. Keto is not a product. Keto is a metabolic state. It needs to be treated as such at all times. That's what a responsible person who is into a ketogenic style protocol does. And we use it in this fantastic hybrid with hard training. We sprinkle in carbohydrates like a tool to get major benefit from them without them spilling over into detrimental side effects. It's a beautiful thing. Plenty of videos here on my YouTube channel explaining a lot of this stuff that I spoke about in terms of the actual dietary component and what to do to have great results. Go to our Ketogenic Bodybuilding Facebook group, join that because there's some great information and some great people in there that will help steer you into the right direction. And obviously you can comment on this video, ask questions, and I will help you absolutely any way that I possibly can. So here's another rant video in the books. I hope it made sense. I hope you got it. I hope you can check that one off your box and move on and get back to clean eating, hard training, and now you don't have to worry about throwing your hard-earned cash at any of these garbage products that are just expensive urine. All right, fair enough, great. I'm glad you hung out for me this long today, or with me this long today. So until the next video, which will be coming within mere days, stay tuned. I really, really appreciate your support. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you the next time for another video. So in the meantime, go train your ass off and eat a big freaking steak.